Tune in. Let's bring you up to speed with sporting activities from around the globe.
He has nailed that.
7:30 a.m. and 6 p.m. every weekday.
Salah scores, of course he does.
Rapid Sports.
Ferocity.
And football is a gift that keeps on giving, as once again one of the top 5 sides in Africa has fallen to the sword in the round of 16 in the ongoing African Cup of Nations. The latest casualty are the Atlas Lions of Morocco. South Africa getting a 2-0 victory as the boys of South Africa are now through to the next round of the tournament and hoping to fly into the finals as well. 8 teams remaining, and action begins by Friday for who will be crowned Africa's best team in the 34th edition of the African Cup of Nations. Meanwhile, it was Arsenal finally getting a win against Nottingham Forest away from home, with Gabriel Jesus and Bukayo Saka, the big men, on the prowl. And Newcastle United beat Unai Emery's Aston Villa away from home as well by 1-3. And not forgetting the game of slam dunks and 3 points is getting interesting in the NBA as Golden State Warriors finally got back to winning ways with a smart victory against the Philadelphia 76ers. A lovely morning to you, and many thanks for joining us and get another interesting edition of Morning Delight on Radio. It is Rush Hour Sports right here in your darling frequency, Rapid 96.5 FM, Umahia, the sound of your city. And I'm not alone, I've got my colleague, the incorruptible Sam. Good morning to you and welcome to the show. Just when we thought we've not seen it all, after Egypt were dumped, as well as Senegal, the best team in Africa and the defending champions, were dumped yesterday. The highest ranked African side and also the best as far as FIFA World Cup in Qatar is concerned, the favorite for the tournament, Morocco, were also dumped. Welcome to the show.
Definitely. Good morning to you, Ivalid, the midfield maestro. And for me, that's the most shocking result as far as this AFCON is a surprise. The group stages, we knew a lot happened, but come on. South Africa getting the better of Morocco. No, I didn't see that coming. 2-0, not as if it was a true penalty shootout. Beautiful game of football. No wonder so many people don't even know that some Premier League matches happened yesterday. But we are thinking more of AFCON. AFCON is ruling Africa and a little bit part of the world.
Alright, it's excitement all the way at the African Cup of Nations, and I've lost count of the goals scored. I think the goals down are standing at 104 goals scored so far in the tournament out of 44 matches played. So let's go with the remaining 8 matches and see how many goals we can get. It's a record in itself, and Ashraf Hakimi fails to score his penalty. If not, it would have been a record extending 13 penalties scored, the biggest in a single tournament, as far as Nations Cup is concerned. But let's kickstart the show starting from the home front, where the opening ceremony of the Dr. Alex Chioma Oti Secondary School Unity Games will hold on Thursday, the 1st of February, across the 17 local government areas of Abia State, while competition proper will commence on the 2nd of February. The Honorable Commissioner for Youth and Sport Development, Sir Nwabilo Ananaba, has directed all the local government areas, local organizing committees to ensure a hitch-free competition and endeavor to play according to the rules of the game. It's the first of its kind sport at the grassroots level. When you have what we've seen the last few years in the National Sport Festival, the Youth Games, and there's just one state dominating. Delta has been dominating for a while now, and I think almost the last 3 or 4 editions of both events, Delta has been dominating. It's time to take things serious. Bayelsa is another state that's rising. Recently, we saw them do exploit at the National Sport Festival and also at the Youth Games as well. So Abia is taking a cue, and speaking to some of the coaches during the torch lighting of this particular event, they did say to avail them an opportunity to try and get young talent start as early as they can and try to kickstart their careers from there.
Definitely. You know, when you hear catch them young, I think this is what it is. You don't wait for them to struggle. That's why we do age cheating as far as football is concerned. When you have tried, getting to the point where you need to play football right now, they ask you your age. You know you're 30 and you're telling them you are 17. The age will catch up with you. That's why when they shine here, going outside the country, you see them struggling because we don't catch them young. Just like the two states you mentioned, I think that's what is happening there. Delta State, they try as much as possible to, allow sports to happen from these secondary schools.
And
If
they
possible,
also have the will to do
you
poaching.
understand? If possible, allow primary schools, because some are just there. They are in school, maybe just to read and write. But for me, they are more talented in other things, sporting activities, running, playing football, other sporting activities. We have good boxers here. From the young age, you know that they have it in them. It's just for the development to happen. But when we don't give them the opportunity, we say, go, come out, become a doctor, become a nurse, become a lawyer. At the end of the day, you see them wasting their talent. Governor Alex Oti is doing very well, just like the information, the Commissioner for Sports told them there. See, pay attention. This is not time for you to look for who to collect money from. I hope it will not get to the point of, telling a family, for your son or your daughter to feature, you need to give us something. I hope it doesn't get to that point. We know corruption is everywhere, and it's a big one. Let us catch them young. Years to come, let us see these ones as people that got noticed or picked from such a competition.
And don't forget that this is what is making the USA thrive in athletics majorly, because they have a scholarship. Some Nigerians who have distinguished themselves, who are now in the US, they are on scholarships. What are they doing there? They are learning while also participating in sports, especially athletics, the track and field. We have several schools in the US that are pushing in money, encouraging these athletes to get better training in the morning and evening, school later on in the day. You combine academics with whatever you're doing, and you get to be a world beater. In the 60s and 70s, even in the 80s, some of our parents went to school through sport. I can recall my father told me that when he was in primary school, he played football so well that the secondary school he went to was free of charge. The only thing he brought in was books. He bought was books.
Because he was doing well.
He was doing well.
Like
so football took him in. So it's time to get back school sport and make sure that it thrives. We'll be here bringing you the latest updates as regards the Dr. Alex Oti's secondary school Unity games. So start bringing you update day by day until the very end of it, and possibly we will have the acting director of the Sport Council, Obioma George, in the studio to talk more about this and how the tournament is going as well within the course of the week. And let's talk tennis right now, because three-time Grand Slam champion Andy Murray says he won't quit tennis despite being in a terrible moment. The Briton, which just 36 years of age, is winless in 2024, who just began, by the way, after Monday's first round loss to Benoit Paire at the Open South de France. Murray also suffered a first round exit at the Australian Open, while last ATP Tour victory was in October. On Tuesday, he responded to a BBC reporter's post on X, which asked when Murray should call time on an extraordinary career. The post linked to an article which said, while the Scots' status as a legend was secured, at what point does bravely soldiering on start to damage his legacy? Tarnishing my legacy? Do me a favor, the two-time Wimbledon champion Murray wrote in a reply. I'm in a terrible moment right now. I'll give you that. Most people would quit and give up in my situation right now, but I'm not most people, and my mind works differently. I won't quit. I'll keep fighting and working to produce the performances I know I'm capable of. Well, the article asks whether Murray's refusal to back down from a challenge was doing him more harm than good. World number 49 Murray has suffered 9 defeats in 13 matches in the start of the US Open in August 2022. All right, Murray said in Melbourne earlier this month that there was a definite possibility he had played in his last Australian Open. I don't know why this man doesn't want to call it quits. I don't know why he's strong-headed. This man has done, hip resurfacing, metal resurfacing surgery. He has a metal in his hip, right? And so you could see him visibly limp when he's trying to play on the court. The pains, the disappointment of getting defeat. Sometimes he loses and he smashes his racket. He want to play like Andy Murray of 2016, 2017, 2018. But hey, bro, the body isn't in the best shape anymore.
Definitely, and seriously, I think he's the one we talked about the last time. And I said, come on, if I happens to be maybe the younger brother, I think I would tell him, call it quit. He's 36, 36 years of age. You can actually do something else. Just like what they do in football. When you know he's no longer working, you either become a club administrator, or a pundit, or even a coach. Because we have a young coaches now. Unfortunately, Rooney is struggling to become one of them. But he's saying no. I'm not going to quit. I'm going to keep fighting. See, at this point, when you think you are going to come back to the Andy Murray we used to know, these younger ones are actually going to look at Yannick Sinner. Yannick Sinner did wonderfully well as far as the Australian. He's crown champion. He actually eliminated what's his name, Novak Djokovic. Was Medvedev. These guys are getting better as the year progresses. They are getting better. So you are getting older, and they are going to be capitalizing on that. For me, the best advice would be for him to quit, look into other aspects of this sport, maybe anything else. But for me, I don't see Andy Murray coming back to the Andy Murray we watched years ago. No way.
All right, so Andy Murray is saying impossibility. I'm not like everybody. It's not for me. I'm going to still stay and fight on and see if I can get myself a title.
Remember, this is what happened to Serena Williams. When she was supposed to have retired, she was just busy forcing herself until it got to the point where immediately after them, I think she did that. Once she gets eliminated, she will start crying. I hope it doesn't get to the point where Andy Murray will become cry baby.
Okay, we only wish him the very best and hope that he can soldier on and believe in himself because he thinks he can do it. Well, we had a time where Tiger Woods was in the woods, right? He wasn't winning anymore.
He refused.
His last major came, I think, in 2012 or 2014.
Yeah.
He stayed over close to a decade before he finally won a major. And by that time, he had gotten that accident that almost damaged his legs. So he was in tears, winning his 15th major in golf. So can he behave like Tiger Woods and roar back from the woods? Well, only time will tell for Sir Andy Murray. But let's look at the regular season of the NBA. The game of slam dunks and 3 points are bringing results of matches played in the early hours of this morning. The Atlanta Hawks defeated the LA Lakers 138-122, while the Boston Celtics saw off the Indiana Pacers 129-124. The Utah Jazz couldn't dance to their own jazz as they were beaten by the New York Knicks 118-103, while the Chicago Bulls fell to the Toronto Raptors 118-107, and the Golden State Warriors dimmed the light of the Philadelphia 76ers as it ended in favor of the Warriors 119-107. So that's it for all the sports this morning on the show. Time for us to talk football on the show, but before then we'll go for a very short commercial break, and it's good news in the camp of the Eagles because something magnificent is about to happen. Another miracle. I like the way our medical team are springing up miracles here and there. It could be in camp or out of camp, but it seems there's another miracle about to happen as far as the Super Eagles are concerned. Time for us to take a short commercial break. When we return, we'll talk football on the show. Don't go away, stay.
You missing out on interviews, music, entertainment, thought-provoking discussions, and more? Don't sweat it, man. We've got you covered. No matter where you are, be part of the action 24/7, online and live with Rapid 96.5 FM at Rapid 965 FM on YouTube and Facebook. Catch the pulse of Abia State with Rapid 96.5 FM Umuahia, the sound of your city.
You paint your house with Cyclops, the beauty go last year because Cyclops.
My guy, which kind of paint have you used? We go make my house go well.
Now Cyclops paint.
Paint we go make my house shine.
Cyclops paint.
What about paint we go last for plenty years?
Now still Cyclops paint. Cyclops paint. Now get paint when done win both national and international award on top paint matters.
I beg, where them day?
Them 10 nationwide. Cyclops paint get one get what they call Cyclops satin paint. If dirty touch the paint, you will use water and soap take clean a cha-cha. Cyclops paint get other ones like emulsion paint, test coat, gloss, sack flash car paint, matte, industrial marine coating, red oxide primer, aluminium, splitting paint, auto varnish, and other Barbares products. For that correct building paint where you need na Cyclops paint. Their price na shipping. For more information, call
0701 855 2224.
Welcome back. You're still tuned to Rush Hour Sports, your favorite dial, Rapid 96.5 FM, with the midfield maestro valued alongside Incorruptible Sam in the studio this morning. And time to talk football on the show. Where do we begin? The Nigerian Premier Football League. Richard Old game in Port Harcourt, and it was the pride of Rivers' forward, Deputy Cheta, who banked a brace, scoring 1 goal in each half as the Rivers United got a 2-0 victory over defending champions Eyimba in a Richard Old MPFL Matchday 14 encounter at the Dokie Mesemaka Stadium. The former Bendel Insurance striker gave Stanley Guma side the lead in the 12th minute of play and doubled their money in the 46th minute of play resumption, with 12 standing matches left against Doma United and Sporting Lagos. The Port Harcourt side are now 11th in the table with 24 points from 17 matches, 12 points away from the top spots. Let's take a listen to Coach Stanley Guma, who did say his boys played an absolutely magnificent game yesterday in Port Harcourt.
Well, it was a good game. At least 3 points in the bag is a good one. A good development. I appreciate the players. I thank them for their efforts. It was not an easy game. This is a top-class encounter. Two rival opponents, Eyimba, Rivers United, always a cracker every day, any day. I think they are defending champions, and they proved that today. They gave us a big test, a big run of our money, and I think the players live up to expectation. Having traveled for some time being on the road from Gombe through Enugu back to Port Harcourt, I think that was the wears and tears of the year. But today they raised all out, to come out with a resounding 2-0 victory. It was a good one. I think the game was explosive as expected. We plugged into action as soon as the game started and got an early goal because of a high intensity that we adopted in the game. Had more possession, we missed some other chances, we would have scored more goals. Eyimba also did well, but I think we have a better side today, and I'm not surprised that we picked the 3 points.
All right, so the better side on the day, and they picked the 3 points for Eyimba. They were on the rise, but they've now dropped a place to 5th on the table with 32 points from 19 matches played so far. And standing coach of the side, Yemi Olarenwaju, was optimistic they will continue to weather the storm in the absence of head coach Finidi George, who's on international duty with Nigeria at Cote d'Ivoire. Speaking after the game, he said his team didn't take their chances, and that was why they were meant to pay.
Glaring chances. We were careless to concede those 2 goals. And for me, I was even phoned and angry with the boys. The second goal was crazy. You can't give such space for a player. He's a writer. You let him drag, instead of closing him down, you let him drag it to his power leg to take a shot. So for me, I think congratulations to Rivers United. I don't want to be a bad loser that every time we lose. It was a good game, but I think we had a better opportunity to have scored and win this game than they do. They didn't create anything tangible against us, but they took their half chances, and that's what happened in football. If you don't take your chances, people take theirs. That's the end of the game.
And that's exactly what matters in football. The scoreline at the end of the day read Rivers United 2, Eyimba 0. They struck the bar twice, but the Elephants couldn't find the breakthrough. But the team that found the breakthrough have the points in the bag. But let's head now to the camp of the Super Eagles of Nigeria, where goalkeeper Stanley Nwabali may still be available. I take it slowly. May still be available for selection for the quarterfinal against Angola on Friday, if he passes a late fitness test set for today. The Nigerian Football Federation has stated. After being excluded from the group's training session on Monday, Nwabali returned to full training on Tuesday, boosting his chances of an early return ahead of the test. The Chippa United goalie was fouled by George Kevin Nkodo while trying to save a cross in the boxing encounter against Cameroon. Speaking, reacting to the statements that he's been ruled out, NFF said, fingers crossed, if all goes well, he might be available for selection. Nwabali himself said, I will be fine, but I'm still feeling pain. For the next game, I don't know. Maybe I'll wait for the doctors, but I wish to come back. He told journalists on Saturday. But yesterday, I saw video footage of him now in training, although he was still hopping and limping. But there's a late fitness test for him today. Yesterday, we had a journalist in Abidjan join us on the show who did say he's been ruled out for the game completely. But miracle no tire Jesus. From all indications, Nigerians have been kabashing seriously.
Definitely. I don't know who actually gave the journalist the final news or the final information. I think this at this level right now, until it is officially said, I think the coach should be the one to actually announce to us.
Yeah.
Let's get it that way.
And that would be
even NFF now. For me,
press conference.
NFF for me, they are still far. the coach should have the final say. Until the coach says, okay, I'm not going to include him, I haven't heard from the other day I analyzed that here. It is an information from the doctor to the coach. Even Nwabali shouldn't even know whether he's fit enough. It should be the coach that will tell him, you're going in. From what I have heard from the doctor, that's what it should be. So good to know he's actually training, and I believe I have that assurance that at least 80% sure that he will be available. Unfortunately, Trustekong will be missing. I hope the defenders right now we know that playing against Angola will be even more difficult than what we did against Cameroon. Victor Osimhen is also going to be available. But for Nwabali, I see him coming back. But until the coach Jose Peseiro says so, we can't say otherwise.
So you can keep praying, you can keep hoping, and keep believing that Stanley Nwabali, the man who has considered just a goal in 5 games in this tournament, stays fit and return, to the fold with the Eagles set to play on Friday. But let's quickly run through the AFCON 2023 round of 16. That 8 teams have so far qualified and booked their places in the ongoing 2023 AFCON finals. Let's do a recap of the round of 16 right now. Angola were the first to qualify after the Palangas Negres defeated the Black Members of Namibia 3 goals to nothing. The Angolans will now face the Super Eagles of Nigeria, believed to be one of the favorites of the competition after beating the indomitable Lions of Cameroon 2-0 to progress in their own right. So the surprise of the tournament was right on 16 tie between Cote d'Ivoire and defending champion Senegal. 1-1 after extra time, and the Orange defeated the Senegalese side by 5-4 on penalties to book their place in the last 8. Meanwhile, a late Ryan Mendes penalty sealed a 1-0 win for Cape Verde over Mauritania, sending them through to the quarterfinals for the second time in their footballing history as far as AFCON is concerned. Another blow in the tournament was Guinea, dramatic winner in the 8th minute of injury time, beating 10-man Equatorial Guinea 1-0 on Sunday. It was a historic moment for the City Nationals as well, who had never previously won a Cup of Nations knockout round. They were runners-up in 1976 in an era when the Final Four played a round-robin format to decide the winner of the tournament. Meanwhile, the Pharaohs were dumped out by DR Congo. 1-1 it ended after extra time, and on penalties, 9-8 is ended in favor of the DR Congo side. Let's look at the fixture, venue, date and time for these games. Nigeria Angola, Friday, 6 p.m. I beg your pardon. It is at the Felix Humphreys Bawoni Stadium. While DR Congo takes on Guinea, still on Friday, 9 p.m. at the Stade Olympique Alassane Ouattara Stadium. Then we'll have Mali versus Cote d'Ivoire Saturday, 6 p.m. at the Stade de Boaké, while Cape Verde versus South Africa Saturday, 9 p.m. at the Stade Charles Konan Bani, the Yamoussoukro. What a surprise it was yesterday. South Africa to Morocco 0. And the Atlas Lions, the best team from Africa as far as the World Cup is concerned, and they are currently ranked number 1 in the continent, were dumped out by an emphatic South African display.
Something I didn't see actually. I said that during the beginning of this program. I didn't see that. There is no way I saw that, and I was actually tipping them. Yeah, inside my heart, I was tipping them to at least go to the final. Maybe disturb whosoever that qualifies, gets into the final alongside them. But this is football for you. South Africa beating them 2-0. I believe they will. Even if they wake up this morning, they will be like, okay, what really happened? Are we out of this competition? But that is football for you. Let's see what will happen. South Africa, can they get the better of Cape Verde? That is the next question. I think I'm not expecting us to see more goals. Maybe during the evening we'll talk more. I'm not expecting us to see more goals this semi-final, because I see teams becoming more careful. Who will score first? Who will concede first? By so doing, you see games 80-something minutes is still 0-0. But that is it. We Nigeria now capitalize on whatever that is happening. What if other countries are planning devilish acts against Nigeria? A lot to talk about.
All right, the phone lines are buzzing, but unfortunately we don't take calls in the morning, right? Yeah, you do join us for Inside Cote d'Ivoire 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Then you also join us in the evening at 6 to 7 p.m. But the phone lines are buzzing both ways.
Yeah, people want to talk because nobody saw that yesterday.
We just can't take those calls. The morning show is not meant to take calls, but we'll be here at 2 to 3 p.m. and at 6 to 7 p.m. So hold your peace, hold your thoughts. Join us by then. Let's have wonderful time together talking sport on this frequency, Rapid 96.5 FM. So that's it for the wrap wrap up in terms of the AFCON 2023, but we had an interesting midweek of matches in the Premier League. Arsenal finally getting a victory against Nottingham Forest away from home. Gabriel Jesus with 1 goal and 1 assist. Bukayo Saka with the other goal. 1-2 victory for the Gunners. Taiwo Awoniyi becoming a Didier Drogba against Arsenal, scoring once again, returning from injury on the day. 1-2. Arsenal did win against Nottingham Forest away from home. It was Aston Villa 1, Newcastle United 3, Luton Town 4, Brighton and Hove Albion 0. Adebayo scored a hat-trick, and yet today I saw Luton Town with a tweet on X, and they wrote the man's full Yoruba name. Okay, I don't want to go pronouncing it because I'll lose my tongue. Crystal Palace defeated Sheffield by 3-2 as well, and those are the results of matches played in the Premier League. And for today's game, City up against Burnley, Tottenham takes on Brentford, Liverpool up against Chelsea.
That's a big game actually. Liverpool up against Chelsea. Well, the AFCON we always want to action, but we don't have AFCON matches today, so people can actually pay attention to that. Man City against Burnley, that's Vincent Kompany. We actually face his from our side. Well, Man City, they know how to beat Burnley. The
first game of the season ended 1-3, the opener, in favor of City. And this same fixture.
They will also know how to get rid of them. I don't think Vincent Kompany will do anything here. But for Arsenal, a big one. Awoniyi, maybe he's telling Arsenal, why not get me? I want to play for you guys. I want to score these goals. I score against you. I want to score for you. Well, EPL is still there, but so sorry, AFCON is taking over.
All right, AFCON is taking over. This Liverpool versus Chelsea clash, the Blues seem to have turned a new leaf. They've been recording victories consistently under their belt. I think their last 5 matches have been all wins in all competition. For Liverpool, no Salah, no problem. Jota, Darwin Núñez doing the job on the field of play.
No, it's a big game actually that might end in a draw, unless maybe Chelsea. They have been crying about Broja. Broja is actually disappointed. So many Chelsea fans are frowning. They will prefer Jackson, even in as much as sometimes Jackson we forget that he's actually a striker. Maybe he wants to become a defender or even a midfielder. But let's see what will happen. It's a big game, actually a big. No matter what, Liverpool Chelsea will always give us that big game attitude.
All right, and that was also the opening game for both teams in the start of the season. It ended 1-1 at Stamford Bridge on that day. So can Liverpool urge out Chelsea? At the moment, Arsenal have caught their lead at the top of the table to just 2 points as it stands right now. If they do win today against Chelsea, Liverpool goes back to 5 points clear. In the La Liga, Barcelona will take on Osasuna. Atletico Madrid will be up against Rayo Vallecano. In the DFB Pokal Cup in Germany, the quarterfinal games, we expect Hertha Berlin up against Kaiserslautern. And those are the games coming in from the whole of Europe. And before we leave today, the gossips. What are the papers saying? Well, it will surprise you that PSG are currently eyeing the services of no other person but Sir Marcus Rashford. Meanwhile, Granada are close to finalizing a loan deal for United and Uruguay winger Facundo Pellistri. All right, so that's how far we can go on the show today. Many thanks for being a companion. Don't forget to join us at 2 to 3 p.m. for Inside Cote d'Ivoire. Then at 6 to 7, we'll be here for Extra Time Plus on your favorite dial, Rapid 96.5 FM Umahia. Agoyan Baba is standing by for Naija. Now, don't go away. Stay tuned.